What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Clubhouse Talk. As always, I am Sean Ferguson here bringing you the latest and up-to-date news on everything Major League Baseball. We are September 3rd already. I cannot believe it's already the month of September. It is blowing my mind. But here we are, which means October baseball is that much closer. I believe we're about 24 games until the end of the regular season, which is amazing. As an Orioles fan, a fan of a team that's in the playoff hunt, it's just fun to watch. It's nail biting, but it's fun to watch. And what I like to do the Monday or Tuesday of a brand new week, I like to do my studs and duds of the week that was. I look at the week prior, which in this case would be August 26th through September 1st. And I take a look at the top 3 studs and the top 3 duds, which means I go ahead and see the top 3 players or teams that went above and beyond everyone else. And for the duds, vice versa. The top 3 duds being the players or teams that just did not live up to what they needed to do or could have done a lot better. It's a fun segment I like to do. Again, Monday or Tuesday of a new week. If you think that I missed somebody or could have put someone higher or lower on the list, just let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video or any of my other content on this channel, please like, subscribe, follow me on X at CH Talk Show. I would really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the studs and duds of the week that was. I believe I started off with the duds last week. Let's do that again this week. And I hate to do it, but the number 3 dud of the week goes to the Chicago White Sox. I just had to. The White Sox lost their franchise record 107th game of the year Sunday. And yeah, they're still on pace for the most losses in MLB history, which is 120 held by the New York Mets. The White Sox are on an active 10-game losing streak and have gone on losing streaks of at least 8 games 3 separate times. The White Sox are just 31-107 this season and are an abysmal 4-36 since the All-Star break. They are bottom in the league in virtually everything, and it's just sad to watch. This club has some talented pieces, but they are lost in the shuffle as the issues within the organization definitely expand beyond just the locker room. The Sox now start a series with the Orioles, which, despite their injuries, are one of the best teams in the league, meaning the White Sox might add to their losing streak quite a bit in the coming days. It's sad to watch, and I feel awful for their fan base, but feel their pain as my team lost 110 games just 2 years ago. It can only get better from here, just after this terrible season. The number 3 dud of the week goes to the Chicago White Sox. Number 2 dud of the week goes to Juan Soto's defense. He's been doing it with his bat as of late, hitting home runs at a great pace. His defense, which has never been the best, has really caught my eye this year. Watching the Yankees play the Cardinals on Sunday really stood out to me. His defense is suspect, and it showed. He had 3 balls fly over his head, which allowed a total of 4 runs to score. He isn't the fastest, and it shows. He doesn't seem like he breaks on the ball off the bat well, and his limited speed makes it really tough to catch up when that happens. It would be nice to put him in the DH spot, but that belongs to Stanton, who also cannot field right now. Sunday isn't the only time this happened to Soto. Watching an O's versus Yankees game earlier in the year, Soto let a fly ball virtually hit by Adley Rutschman. That was pretty routine and had a 95% catch probability fly over his head for a double. Like I said, the only reason this is not talked about more is because of how well he is performing at the plate. It is frustrating and can cost you games. And with October fast approaching, you need to make sure that bat is doing well enough to hide how bad that glove is. For this, Soto gets the number 2 dud of the week. And to me, I know I'm biased, but the number 1 dud of the week that was is Brandon Hyde continuing to put Craig Kimbrel in tight game situations. Craig Kimbrel is not the Kimbrel of old, and we shouldn't expect him to be. The 36-year-old future Hall of Famer has clearly lost a step, and that's okay. What is not okay is expect him to just shake off his bad performances and turn it around instantly. Kimbrel came over to be the closer for the Orioles this season when Felix Bautista went down with a Tommy John injury last year and was set to miss the entire season this year. Kimbrel has been shaky all year. His strikeouts have been decent, but he hasn't been someone that O's can rely on late in games. Kimbrel has blown 6 saves this year and has allowed 26 runs and has an ERA of 4.07. The O's replaced him as closer and were using him when the game was already in hand, which seems just to try to get his confidence up. Kimbrel was put in a tight game situation. It was tied 5-5 on Saturday, and after striking out the first batter, he gave up back-to-back doubles to give the Rockies the lead. He will give up one more run, and the O's will lose by those 2 runs he gave up. Why High continues to put him in these situations makes no sense to me, especially after you know how poor he has performed in close game situations this year. Kimbrel needs to be the last resort and not when the game is close. For me, this gets the number 1 dud of the week that was. I know some of you might think that either that shouldn't be on the list or it's too high, but again, I'm biased. So for me this week, that goes number 1, especially when how injury riddled this team is, especially you just lost Ramon Urias, who was your best hitter the last 2 months, and you just lost him. When it rains, it freaking pours, and it's pouring right now in the Orioles. And when you're in a close, tight game and the bats really helped you get back in that game, and you put him in that situation just to lose it again, it's just really frustrating as a fan. So again, that's why that gets the number 1 dud for me. But those are your top 3 duds of the week. Now let's go studs. Number 3 stud of the week, that's going to be Caden Dana. Dana became the youngest Angel starting pitcher to win his debut in the club's history at just 20 years and 259 days, passing Francisco Rodriguez for that honor back in 2002. He dazzled on the diamond, tossing 6 straight innings, allowing just 2 runs off 2 hits with 4 strikeouts, leading the Angels to a 3-2 victory to become the youngest starting pitcher to win a game in Angels history. The former 11th round draft pick of the Angels in 2022 was recently named the Angels' top prospect and listed in the top 100 prospects in all of MLB. His performance in AA caught the eye of the Angels staff, and he proved them right as he shined Sunday night. He led AA in strikeouts, and in his time there, he had a 9-7 record with a 2.52 ERA, which earned him his Friday call-up by the club. With September roster expansion here, it made total sense for the Angels to give their top pitching prospect time to get used to the big leagues level, and he impressed. It's tough to perform well in baseball at a young age, but the future looks bright for Dana after what he accomplished Sunday night. So the number 3 stud of the week goes to Caden Dana. Number 2 stud of the week that was Zach Eflin. Eflin returned from IL and picked up right where he left off. One of the few bright spots from the Orioles trade deadline, Eflin Sunday night threw 5 perfect innings before allowing his first hit. He went 7 innings, allowing just 1 run with 9 strikeouts. Eflin is now a perfect 5-0 in 5 starts since being traded to the Orioles by Tampa Bay at the trade deadline, as he joins Jack Harshman as the only pitchers in Orioles history to win their first 5 starts with the club. Eflin is now 10-7 on the year, dropping his ERA to a 3.60 and helped the O's win just their 3rd series in August. Eflin has been a pivotal arm for the O's rotation that has been decimated by injury. It's also crazy what a change of scenery can do for a player with talent like Eflin. Being on a team that you know has good defense behind you and provides good run support really adds to a pitcher's mentality, and with the playoffs looming, Eflin will definitely be an arm the Orioles depend on, and Eflin's great start gets him the number 2 stud of the week that was. And the number 1 stud of the week that was goes to the Chicago Cubs. Something in Chicago, right? The Cubs won all 6 of their games last week, putting them on a season-best 6-game winning streak. All 6 games came on the road, which makes it more impressive. The Cubs also finished off a 9-game road trip at 8-1. The Cubs last week had a 3-game sweep of the Pirates, followed by a 3-game sweep of the Nats, outscoring their opponents by a combined 34 runs last week. The Cubs, with their hot streak, are now just 3 games back of an NL wildcard spot with 24 games left in the season. The Cubs have perhaps been the hottest team in all of Major League Baseball, going 32-18 in their last 50, and put themselves in prime position as October is in sight. The Cubs now come home for a 6-game homestand, and started off against a team that they just swept in the Pirates. Cubs are sitting at 71-66, and it's not ideal, but when you look at the club and where they sat 9 games ago, right before that 9-game road trip started, things are looking up. And things like this can go a long way for a team that is making a postseason run, and the Cubs have something they can build on, especially with how well the bats are performing right now. perfect weeks are hard to come by, especially this late in the season, which makes it even nicer for the Cubs, earning them the #1 stud of the week that was. Well, there you have it. Those were my top 3 studs and my top 3 duds of the week that was last week, August 26th through September 1st. Again, let me know down in the comments if you would have added anybody, taken anybody off, or rearranged the top 3 in either list, which I'm sure I could have. Again, my bias, Orioles bias, I should say, plays into that a little. I'll usually have one on each side of that. But Major League Baseball is awesome, guys. October is fast approaching. I'm really, really excited about that. And I know baseball season is slowly but surely coming to an end. So when that does happen, I am a football guy as well. Big Redskins fan. I just can't do the Commander's name. Big Redskins fan. So Eli Shelton and myself definitely will be talking some football this year as well. But right now, my mindset is still nothing but baseball. It's getting really exciting. And again, if you like this video and any of my other content, please like, subscribe, follow me on X at CH Talk Show. I really, really appreciate it, guys. I love making content, especially on Major League Baseball. It is the best sport on planet Earth. And again, I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm planning on having Eli Shelton on at the end of this week, as I like to try to get him on bi-weekly. So we should be doing another video together the end of this week for the upcoming weekend. It should be a lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Again, I'm Sean Ferguson. This was Clubhouse Talk, and I'll see you next time.